Today, almost 5,000 new COVID-19 infections were recorded, and this is the highest number ever recorded in Thailand since the start of the pandemic last year. And among the new infections, we have to give them a big mention here because most of the new infections that were recorded, more than half of them are inmates in prisons across the country. So over 2,800 of them were inmates in prisons, as announced by the Corrections Department last night. The department stated that the virus has spread inside prisons due to the admission of new prisoners, including prisoners who have been escorted to and from court hearings, whereas some of them may have contracted the virus outside the prison. And this raises the cumulative total of infections in the latest outbreak beginning in April to almost 65,000 already, while the total since early last year is now 93,794. Meanwhile, the CCSA spokesperson, Dr. Tawisin Wisnuyotin, also mentioned the COVID-19 situation in Bangkok because undeniably, apart from the inmates, there are still infections from clusters in Bangkok, notably the cluster infections in Klong Tei, Pathumwan, and Suan Luang districts, where the numbers have not slowed down, and at the same time, the number of severe cases are increasing. And so far, over 6,000 people in Bangkok are currently confined in compulsory home isolation, while 226 others are quarantined in hotels. Meanwhile, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration reported today that 1,146 out of almost 27,000 people living in the Klong Tei slum have been screened since April 12th, and that 1,100 people have been tested positive for the disease. But besides that, the results for another 5,000 people are still pending. So we can see that there are the clusters here. We are seeing more infections, but the big number that we're seeing is mainly half of it's come from the prisons.